Oh my goodness, year six. Welcome to today's session. I know you guys have all been waiting since last week. Now you're so excited and you've been waiting for this moment where you're going to be having your maths virtual BA style club. Welcome to today's session. For those of you that have just joined, don't worry. All I've said is welcome year six to your math session. And I know that you've all been excited and eagerly waiting for today, especially what happened in science last week. A lot of you were so enthusiastic. Your energy was amazing. Like literally, we are so happy that you're here today. Right, so just giving you a few seconds to get yourself situated. Just like last time, if you literally get your phones ready, because you're going to be scanning the QR code. Remember, the QR code is what you're going to be using to make your comments, okay? So when Sarah asks you a question, you've got to put your answer right onto the chat window using the QR code. Right, so first, very fast. I say it again, very fast. One last time. Very first, quick housekeeping for today. Take your phone, QR code, scan it. If you don't have a phone that has a scanner or a camera, just literally go on to slido.com and enter the code #2402008. Okay, so that's #2402008. Sarah and myself have got ours ready. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So nice and ready. Oh, I can see questions. Now, remember, the key thing you've got to do, you've got to make sure you write your name. Just your first name is okay. And then your primary school. So when we shout you out, guess what we're shouting? We're going to say, "Good afternoon, Alfred from Bursted Wood. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Good afternoon, Isla from Belmont." So put your primary school as well, ladies and gentlemen. Parents, if you're there in the background, hi and good evening to you all. Now, the second bit of housekeeping. Now, during the session, what Sarah's going to be doing is he's going to talk about activities that you're going to be doing. If you were not here last week, the activities are actually on our school's website. So I'll just go ahead and I'll share that with you. So I'm going to share my school website. So you go into BA's website, okay? And you go to where it says Academy Life, and you can see where it says Year 6 Transition. Click on that. And if you scroll, you can see if you've missed it, go back and watch it. It's the welcome message from Mr. Muse and Miss Freeman. And then if you missed last week's session, which is the Science Virtual Club, literally go on there. You can watch the video. You can see the activity sheet and the checkout. It is never too late to participate. But most importantly, today's session is going to be the virtual math session. So what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, year 6, you need to go onto the website and then just click on the activity. So you've got the worksheet. Now, if you wanted to literally challenge yourself, do the worksheet. If you feel, oh, you kind of want information to be broken down for you, it's not an easy way of working. It just is easier for some people to access. It's the differentiated worksheet. The task is just broken down. The most important one is the checkout. So at the end of the session, click on the checkout. I'll show you what that looks like. It's always a series of questions. So I'll go ahead and share this tab. So here's the checkout for today's session. All you would do is literally go ahead and answer the questions, okay? Don't guess them, read through them. Don't do it now because you've got to learn the maths first, okay? Now, so let's come back to today's session. So I'm going to come back away and come back to our PowerPoint presentation. Just give me a second. So I'm going to share this tab instead. Okay, so we're all nice and ready to go. If you've got any questions, year 6, all you've got to do is put your questions in the chat. I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Mag Bennett, who's here to represent our maths department, and Sarah's going to talk you through the lesson. And guess what, year 6? When Sarah's finished, after you've done all the maths, you're going to come back to me and we're going to have some celebrations from last week's sessions. So all of you that took part, lots of you took part in the checkout session. From what I've heard from science, a lot of you took part in the actual worksheet activities as well. And apparently a lot of you sent in emails to say to Mr. Mules. One was sent to me, to be fair, a couple to science saying you've completed the work. They've actually had a look and they will be giving you feedback at some point if they haven't done so already. Okay, so I'm going to pass you over to Mr. Mag Bennett. I'm still going to be in the background, guys. I'm not going away, so you won't see my face or hear my voice, but I'm going to be in the background and I'll come to you as soon as Sarah's finished the maths with you. Every now and again, actually, sir, what I can do is if you wanted me to read the answers, just call my name and I'll come back in. Okay, I'll hand it over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, year 6s. I'm so excited to be sharing this lesson with you. Now, maths is something that we grow to love. You know, once we have worked before with numbers, we grow to understand it, and it becomes easier and easier as we spend more time doing it. So this afternoon, we will be looking at some questions about money. And I hope that we can relate to money. But before that, there's a video which I'm going to ask Amis to play as to why does maths matter, just to set the tone as to why maths is important.
I'm not good at math.
I just don't get it.
It makes me kind of feel uncomfortable.
When I get called on in math class, I feel scared.
Because I'm afraid I'm going to mess up the problem.
My brain just doesn't think anymore. It doesn't think straight, and I just go like, okay, what do I do? I have no idea what to do.
Math makes me feel stupid.
Scared that I would answer wrong or get laughed at.
I'll never be able to do this.
Scene 16, take 1, marker.
I'm still learning who I am,
What I'm good at.
Forming my idea of my own potential.
And if I think I can't be good at math, I won't be.
But math is everywhere.
Math is a basic life skill.
Without math, I could get left behind.
So help me know that limits don't exist.
That math isn't beyond my reach.
And my potential can take me anywhere.
That with hard work and the right mindset,
I can grow.
Because math esteem is self-esteem.
With math, I can be a fashion designer,
A doctor.
A computer programmer.
a wildlife biologist.
A teacher.
With math, I can be anything.
So click the link,
Take the pledge
And find out how you can implement
growth mindset strategies
to improve your students' math esteem.
So I can have a fighting chance.
to become who I want to be.
Thank you. I can become who I want to be. Now, I'm going to ask a question, please. I'm going to ask you to please put the answer in the Slido. The first question I'm going to ask you, please, is to give me an answer. If maths were a color, what color would maths be for you? If maths were a color, what color would maths be to you? That's a question I normally would ask my year 7s, just to see how they like maths and what they think about maths. So I'm going to wait to see if we get a few answers in the chat. And also, if maths were a food, what food would maths be? You know, because we all relate to maths in a different way. So feel free to give me those answers in the chat. I'm seeing a few greens. I'm seeing a few yellows. I don't see any red. So I think we are actually working with a few people who believe that maths is one of their favorite things which they like. Next slide, please, miss. Thank you. So will you enjoy learning maths in school? And what do you already love about maths? We believe that we spend time making sure that you enjoy what you're doing, what you're learning, and eventually you'll become better at doing maths. Okay, so at this time, we're going to ask you to please take part in our check-in. Now, in our school, the first part of the lesson is called the check-in, where we normally ask you to just give a few answers based on what you probably may already know, so you get a bit unsettled and you feel as if you can be a part of your lesson. And today we have 2 questions. How many UK coin money denominations do you know? So for example, and one of them could be 2p or 1p. So we're asking you to go ahead and write down, please, all of them down. How many UK coin money denominations do you know? That's the first question. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds for that, please. About 30 seconds for that. And our second question, while you are doing that, if you finish that already, you can move to the second question, which is just asking you, personally, for you, why does mathematics matter? Why does mathematics matter? So I can see a few answers are coming through. A few answers are coming through here on Slido. Yes, we're making some progress. And we're looking for some more reasons. Why does mathematics matter for you personally? Now, also, you can see that we normally share with you in a lesson what is the topic. And this afternoon's topic is money calculations. We also will share with you an exploration question. So this afternoon's question is, how do I carry out money calculations without a calculator? Along with the keywords of currency, like we use the pound and pence, and denominations, which I'm seeing there. All the answers in the chat, yes, the 1p's, the 2p's, the 5p's, and there's some more, yes. And finally, the key word for today is also strategy. What method would I use to get to my answer? Now, it could be a fast method, it could be a long method, but we want to make sure our method is accurate, and we look for that as well in our work. Okay, Miss, I think that's our time for our check-in. If we could move to our next slide, please. Thank you. So mathematics is everywhere. One of the most important applications of mathematics is money. From shopping to getting a loan or a mortgage or using a credit card, and even when we have to measure the length of a building or to get the correct amount of food for a recipe, we all need maths. Mathematics is everywhere, and there's no hiding when it comes to maths. It will find you out. So the more you engage, the better you will become. And we always encourage you to have a go. Even if it's wrong, still have a go, because we learn from our wrong answers. We learn from those experiences. And so we always encourage all of our students to have a go and continue to have a go. Work together, work in pairs, work as a group, and learn together. Thank you. So in this session, we will focus on completing some money calculations. And please promise me that you wouldn't use a calculator. All right? We have tried to make sure that the numbers are quite manageable. So please have a go and see if we can work today without a calculator as we work through these money questions. And they are about to come up on the screen in a second. We first have a warm-up question. All right, so this task, or first task, is a warm-up task. It's just for you to try to engage and to get yourself engaged with this question. So Mariam has £1.37 in coins. Now, each of her coins has a different value, so she doesn't have more than one of each type. What coins does she have? So we're going to ask you to think about that. She has £1.37. Each of her coins has a different value. That means she can't have two of any type or three of any type, only one of each type. What coins exactly does she have? So you can start to use the coins that we have been using, or we have mentioned before, and see if you can come up with £1.37, one of each coin. Now, there is a particular coin that we wouldn't use at all. So I hope you're thinking not to use that coin at all, because that coin is more than £1.37. So I hope that you have already removed that coin from a possible answer and you're looking at other coins. Okay, so we're getting a few answers through. A big shout out to Warren from Ambiddenwell. That answer is already coming in. Asta from Belmont also. So we are getting a few more answers coming in as well. So just those two I shot out so far. Thank you very much. Also Alfie as well from Amberstead Wood. Okay. So far so good. And we're thinking how we can get to a pound 37. Now, after you would have found an answer, please make sure you go back and check it. All right, we just don't take the first answer that comes to our mind. We would check it. So I was talking about the £2 coin. We wouldn't be using the £2 coin because it is more than a pound 37. So I would try first to use the £1 coin, which is what everybody here, even Martin B as well, has tried to use a £1 coin. So now we have to make 37p. And afterwards, we could try and use 50p. Also, it's going to be too big. It's bigger than 37p. So we're going to jump straight to the 20p coin. So now we have a pound 20, £1 coin and 20p coin. Now we're going to try, and after the 20p coin, we could use the 10p coin. So now we have £1, 20p, 10p, that's £1.30. And I still need some more coins to make my 37. I can use the 5p coin, yes. I can see here in the chat, yes. So now I'm up to a £1.35. And finally, the last two options are a 2p or a 1p. And surprise, surprise, I can't use two 1p's because I must have one of each. So I'm going to use the 2p coin. And so that's how I would go about creating or coming up with an answer. And on the next slide, we're going to see exactly what the answer looks like. All right. All right, now at this time, we're going to ask you to try this question by yourself. We call this a checkpoint. So we're going to give you about 2 minutes for this checkpoint. All right, a checkpoint is where we would just do a fast survey of our class to see how many students get it, how many students don't get it, and then we know how we will shape the remaining parts of the lesson. So this is our first checkpoint for today. And it talks about Alfie has £3.23 in coins. Each of his coins has a different value. So what coins exactly does he have? And again, the answers are coming in. We have about another minute for this place. So we're going to take our time. All right. And sometimes silence is important for us to think. So I would give you some silence. About 20 more seconds. All right, as we come down now, I'm learning here in the chat that there are a few of us who would tend to give our answers in a rush. But I'm just going to remind you that the aim is to get the answers also accurate. All right, so I hope you have worked this out. So he would need a £2 and a £1 to make £3. And to make the 23, he would use a 20p coin, a 2p coin, and a 1p coin. Yes, so if you are someone who works in a rush, don't forget to come back and check your answers, make sure it works. You know, there is nothing wrong with unchecking the answer more than once. So I hope we are making some progress. We're feeling a bit more confident in our answers. I can see in the chat here that we have had quite a few people who have got this correct. So I think we are ready to move on to our next question, please. and it's now time for a challenge. We're all up for a challenge, you know. This is what makes maths exciting, that it first starts as a challenge. And the more we read the question or we engage with the question, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And eventually we can do it. So, and that's what makes our learning fun. When the work is easy, boring. It's very, very boring. But when there's a challenge, that's when it becomes exciting. So books are sold at £6 each. On a deal, you buy 2 and you get 1 free. So buy 2 books and you get 1 book free. So the question is, this is our challenge question. How many books do we get for £36? So how many books do we get for £36 if books are sold at £6 each? We buy 2 and get 1 free. Now, we like to sometimes give a hint in class. So if we look at the class and we find that most people are stuck, we don't give you the answer directly. We will first give you a hint. So the hint is, think about how many books would you buy at a time? Buy 2, get 1 free. So you would buy the books in sets of how many? That's the hint for this question. Buy the books in sets of how many? And I can see somebody here saying it's going to be buy the books in sets of 3s. That's the major response I'm seeing in the chat, in sets of 3s. So you buy 2, but you will get 3. Pay for 2 and get 3. And so the next part might be, how much money would I spend to buy 2 and get 3? How much money would I spend to buy 2 and get 3? And the answer in the chat is, again, £12. So therefore, if I'm going to spend a total of £36, how many books would I get? So there's always a pathway through a question, not only one pathway. There are always more than one ways of doing a question. So this is just one pathway I'm sharing here with you. All right, and the answers are coming in thick and fast. Answers are coming in thick and fast. Okay, I'm going to give you, 30 more seconds. Yep, okay, 30 more seconds. Okay, and here's the answer. So 2 books and 1 free will give me £12. I will buy another set of 3 for £12 and yet another set of 3 for £12, making it a total of £36. I can buy a total of 9 books. All right. And be pleased that most of us were able to get this in the chat. Okay. Now, this here is our second challenge question, buying on deals. Buying on deals. So crisps are sold at 50p per packet. You can buy 2 and get 1 free. So how many packets of crisps can you get for £2.50? Crisps are sold at 50p per packet on a deal of buy 2, get 1 free. How many packets can you get for £2.50? And then there was silence. Now, as this is our second question, our second unchallenged question, think about what you've learned in the previous question. And how could you use that in this question? So that's the whole point of learning. Is there anything you can reflect on from the previous question that can help you in this question? Does the hint from the previous question apply to this question? So again, we can buy our crisps in sets of how many? All right. Now, once we have an answer, please make sure that we go back and check it. We price it again and make sure it works. All right. We just don't accept the first answer that comes to our mind. If we have more time, like we do right now, we will go back and check it. Okay, great. So one thing we were meant to learn from the previous lesson is that I buy 2, but I get 3. Buy 2 and get 3. So let's start thinking how that works. And here we go. All right. Yes, miss. So here's our solution. You buy 2 crisps for £1, but you get 3. Buy 2 more crisps for £1, you now have 3 more. Sorry, you don't have 3. So that's now 6. But you still have 50p left over where you can go ahead and buy a single crisp. And there is no extra for buying a single. All right, so that will give me a total of 7 packets of crisps. All right, I hope that solution makes sense for you. All right, great. So at this point, before we go forward, Miss, I'm just going to see if there are any questions so far, which they can place in the chat. All right, before we go forward to our next set of questions, are there any questions which we want to ask at this point in the lesson? Any burning questions you want to ask? Okay. I'm seeing lots of yeas. Okay. All right. 10 more seconds for questions. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking that's a no. So let's move on, please, to our next set of questions, please. Great. Now, sharing is caring. And we will move on to some questions where we share what we have. So Remy has 76p and Zach has £3.54. And what we want to do is to ask Zach to share his money with Remy so they both have the same amount. So we have to work out how much money should Zach give to Remy. All right. So Zach has £3.54. Remy has only 76p. We want to make sure that they share this money so they each have the same amount. So how much money must Zach give to Remy? Now we'll give you about 2 minutes to have a go at this question. So we have a go. All right, and there is an M word we normally use in maths, which is called the mean, you know. So what would the mean amount be? That's if they share the money equally among themselves, the amount of money that each person gets at the end, that's called the mean. I'm sure you would have learned those words in school, like mean and median and mode. But in this question, think about the mean if we share the money that we have equally, and the answers are beginning to come through. Okay. So the first three answers, just a shout out to Isla from Belmont. Some more answers. And Callum from Wood, and Chris from Pelham Primary School. So the answers are beginning to come through. All right, so let's see what else we can do. Miss, if we can go please to the next slide, because there is a bit of strategy on the next slide. So first we can work out how much money they have all together. See, that's called the sum. So if we go ahead and add it up, we can work out how much money they have all together. And then if we divide it equally between the two of them, we can see how much money each person should have at the end. And then we can work out how much money Zach needs to give to Remy. All right, so that could be one approach to this question. All right, so if in solution form, it would look like our sum or our total amount is going to be £4.30. We share that equally between two of them, we get £2.15. So at the end, each person should get £2.15. So therefore, the difference between what Zach has and what he must have at the end is £1.39. All right, so Zach will have to give Remy £1.39. So that is our solution. First, pool the money together, find how much each person will have at the end, and then find the difference. And I hope you are listening to my keywords: sum and total, and then mean, and then difference. All right, so those words mean a lot because it helps us to communicate our maths as to what we're doing. All right, so Miss, we now have a question where our students will try this by ourselves. Remember the word checkpoint. So this is now to check to see if we can do this question by ourselves now. This time it's Rishi and Liz. How much money should Rishi give to Liz so they have the same amount or the mean at the end? All right, Liz has £1.97. Rishi has £3.23. Off you go, please. Again, you have about 2 minutes for this question. All right, about 2 minutes for this question. And we're working without a calculator. All right. So I'm get a chance to practice our addition and subtraction and division. All right. The first answer is in, and the person says, I think, which means that they have time to go back and check their answer. All right. The second answer is also in with a bit more confidence. Okay. But we are quite pleased with the responses so far. The engagement on the chat is high. Okay. Now the person is sure. It's great. All right, so let's see if we can apply the same strategy as with the last question. So let's put it all together If we put that together, we get £5.20. If we go ahead and share that equally between the two students, Rishi and Liz, each one should have £2.60. Yes, and please don't forget, that's called the mean. So if we share things equally, the amount that each person gets is called the mean. So we then have to find the difference between what Rishi had and what he now has, and that difference is 63p. 63p. So we got there in the end. All right, so sure that we have learned some techniques today, and I can't underscore the importance of reading the questions carefully. Sometimes we have to read the questions 2 times or 3 times. That's okay, but make sure you read the questions well, and then you go back and check your answers as well. All right, and we can take it from there. And I can see that here in the chat that a few people believe that we've had a green session so far. So I just want to say well done to all of you, and it's now time for our checkout, which you have. If you get that link and you click on that checkout, it will take you to a form which we can ask you to fill in and select the answers, please, carefully, because we do give a big shout out and a prize to the person with the best scores. Okay, and if you are in there earlier, that gives you a better chance of being selected. So I just want to say thank you for participating today, and feel free to encourage your friends also to come and look at this video. It is never too late, as Miss said, to participate. So you can always come back and review these questions, and I'm sure that your maths will improve with time. Just before I go, are there any questions? Just before I pass you back to Miss Shallow. Okay, so the checkout is a link which can be found on the school's website. If you click on that link that says checkout, it will take you to a page where they're going to ask you for your name, email, and then responses to the questions. They are all multiple choice questions, and we look forward to receiving those from you. All right. Oh no, there is a question here. It's kind of uncomfortable by surprise. Am I the only maths teacher? No, I'm not the only maths teacher here at SBA. We have over about 10 maths teachers here. Right? So that was a good question. What are you taught in year 7? Well, when you arrive with us, we will give you a bit of an assessment somewhere through the first half term, and then we will place you in the correct classes or sets, and then we will make sure that we start you on what you need. We try to make sure that we don't waste your time to learn things which you have learned already in primary school. Okay, but we are grateful for those questions. Are there any more questions before I pass you back to Ms. Shallow? Okay, so I will now pass it back to Ms. Shallow, and thank you very much for being such a good sport.
Oh my goodness. Right, so it's been amazing. I sat in the background, I'm thinking, oh my good, maths. I was taking notes and I'm thinking, I know how to do an average, I'm trying to work it all out. But year 6, you guys amazed me. The fact that a lot of you actually got the answer 63, I was taken aback, way from this computer right now. So I think you all deserve a round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Burnett. It was a fantastic session, very, very intriguing. I like the fact that you had to do with money, because I was thinking about how do I relate this to my everyday life? When am I going to use this? Very simple. Well, the next time I make a bit of money with, say, Mr. Burnett, and I have to give him some change back, I'm going to be on my toes like very quickly. And if we had to share it equally and evenly, that mean comes in, like we need to make sure that each serve, we've got a £5, we're going to split it between us, and we're going to split it out, you know, evenly. It's 2 of us. I'm going to divide that by 2. I'm like, this is brilliant. Loved it. So thank you so much, sir. So, sir, what a lot of them are saying is the checkout is not actually open, so they have access because they're not really students in BA. So can I leave with the maths team to quickly go and open that? We've got another, say, 19 minutes to that quick maths. I'm on it. You know, my brain is thinking math, literally 19 minutes left before the session ends. And hopefully, sir, within that time, the math team can literally open access so anybody with the link can actually partake in the checkout. Is that okay, sir? Okay.
Yes, miss. Yes.
So yes, 6. In the meantime, Sir's going to be in the background as well, so he's not going anywhere. He's going to, you know, be in the background. And what you need to do is get ready because we're going to be celebrating you. If you've got any questions, please send your questions through. Let me just get that open and ready so I can then see what the questions are as they come in as well. Perfect. Okay, right. So next bit is going to be the celebration bit. Excited? Can I get some hand clapping emojis in the chat, please, if you're ready for the next session? I want to see some claps. 10 seconds. Let's see who's getting to the first clap that comes through. We're waiting for it. 10 seconds and counting down. What are your favorite songs as well? Like maybe next session. Next session is going to be English, by the way. So maybe for next session, you can request, like add some song request. Maybe not. Yay, the clapping emojis are coming through. I'm super excited, but I'm going to keep it a bit, you know, build the suspense. Is your name going to be mentioned? So we're going to be celebrating the people who have completed the checkout. Okay, that's the data that I have. If you think your name is going to be mentioned, I want you to write your names in capital letter in the chat window, please. Year 6. So if you think you're going to be mentioned right now, so your name is going to pop up on the screen. I want to see your name in capital letters in that chat window. Let's go. Clapping emojis still coming through. Lots of them are coming through now. I'm excited. I'm super excited. Okay, so quick drum roll. Let's see what the chat window is saying, guys. Hold on a second. I feel like I need an assistant. Would it be nice if I actually invited somebody from a primary school, like the most participated year 6 student, to actually come here to BA and then literally be my assistant? Because I'm thinking I need to see my screen so I can read the comments to see who is sent what message, and I want to be able to see everything else. I think I need an assistant.
Yeah, Miss, the link is now live, so we are ready to go with our checkout tasks, please.
Perfect. So year 6, dive into the checkout task. So normally the checkout would be the last 10 minutes of a BA lesson, or the last 5 minutes, because Sarah's put 5 questions, hasn't it, sir? Is it 5 questions in your checkout?
It's on 3 or 4 questions, yeah.
Okay. Michael, I'm loving this. Michael's just got those claps. He's all the way through the claps. Oh, Hamdiat. Is it Hamidat? I do apologize if I pronounce it incorrect. From Plumcroft Primary School, reckons their name is going to be mentioned. Warren reckons his name is going to be mentioned. Michael reckons his name is going to be mentioned. Michael, I'm not sure what primary school you've come from, but Warren's from Beadenwell. Isla from Belmont reckons her name is going to be mentioned. More claps from Alfie coming through. Lots of more clap. Michael, was that a drum roll, Michael? Let me go and get my drum roll ready. Thank you for telling me that. Let me go and get my drum roll ready. Is it going to be Chris? Is it going to be Callum? Are we ready for it? Right, there's 2 slides of just names. So we're giving a shout out to the phone over here. Right, so we've got William from Bennock Burn Primary School. We've got Tommy, Gabriel, Warren, and Cody from Beadenwell. And we've got Isla, and we have Samuel. So Isla from Belmont and Samuel from Bursted Woods. Let's clap for those people. Right, there's still another slide. So if your name has not been mentioned, is your name going to be there? So Michael, are you sure your name is going to be there? So these are the top scorers from the science checkout. So take your time and do the maths checkout. So your name is going to be mentioned next in the next club session, okay? So if your name is not on this slide or the next slide that comes through, you want your name to be there. If you're watching and you are not taking part live, still go ahead and do the checkout activity. Obviously, watch through Mr. Burnett's, session on how to actually do the maths. So when you do complete the checkout, you can be successful. Don't submit your the checkout because it's not, fastest in is the most correct answer. So don't rush it. Okay. So we're ready for the next names. So so you were not here last week, so you're not going to have a guess as to who might be there. Okay, next set of names. So we have got Maddie, Drash, Freddie, Gabriel, Daniel, Samantha, Chris, Michael. Let's clap for those young people as well. Okay, now it's just a 2 slides, lots of names. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the actual document that tells me all the people that submitted. I'm going to read out as many names as I can. Do we want that? So even if your name is not on screen, you can actually hear your name. We ready for it? Right, just give me a second. I've got to find my document. So apparently there's another message that's come through that the checkout is still not working. If you're still saying the checkout is not working, could you just refresh it and start again? So click on the link again and then just start it from the start and see if that makes a difference.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Has anyone got the checkout yet? So the checkout working for anyone? So if your checkout is worked, yes. Okay, so it's working for some people. So Chris has said it's worked for Chris. Oh, was that you clapping for yourself, Chris? Is that what it is? It probably is. So many names, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So why says just double checking to make sure that that still works. I'm going to go ahead and read all these names. There's so many of them, year 6. I'm going to try my best. So I'll read the next, like the runners up, so to say. So the names that we saw on screen were literally the people that got the highest score. Yeah. So the second lot of highest scores, we're ready for it. So we've got Alicia from Alexander MacLeod. We've got Cody did it twice. Cody, I can see your name there twice. We've got Tommy, Nathan, Alfie, Freddie, Jessica, Heidi, Martin, Chris, Charlie. That's a different Chris. That's Chris from Pelham, by the way. Charlie from Pelham as well. Archie, Hamida. Well done, Hamida, because obviously I know your name was in capital letter. Sienna. We've got Suleiman, Miller, India, Jacob, and Raphael. So let's clap for those names, those people. Now, for all of us watching, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the recorded session, please make sure you do the checkout, because I want to have lots of more names. I'm not going to do the third one, runners up. I'll rather not, because like we're going to be here all day, because obviously more people got up to that threshold. Okay, right. Yes, 6. I'm going to go back to the comments. If you've got any questions, Sarah's going to keep trying his best to make sure that that document you're able to access it. Okay, thank you for that information, Isla. Right, so if you've got any questions about the transition period, please put your questions in the chat window, and then what I can do is I can answer the ones that I can answer. If I'm not able to answer, if it's a maths question, Sarah's just behind the scenes, so Sarah can always come back on and answer the question. If it's about just BA in general, feel free to ask me, and if I don't know, I'll definitely tell you the best place to go for your answer. Okay, so let's wait for your questions to come through. Okay, Hami, there is going to be a summer school. So summer school will normally be towards the end of August. Okay, it's a really good question there. So normally when the school opens, you go into your bubble, Warren. So you go into your bubble area, and then you hang out in your bubble area. Don't worry, the checkout will work at some point. So Sarah's going to make sure he gives everyone access. So next session is going to be the English club. So yeah, so get ready for those of you that love reading, that love English. Next question is about uniform. Do we have to wear a tie for uniform? Yes, you do. There's a BA tie. At some point, what would happen is your parents are going to be diverted to our uniform platform, where they can look at the uniforms that we offer our students here at BA, and then how to purchase your uniform as well. Okay, good question that is. We have lots of clubs after school. So for example, on Mondays, normally at lunchtime on Mondays, we've got a chess club. After school, we've got badminton club. I can't even speak. We've got lots of clubs. Basketball, I mentioned chess. We've got a science club. We've got a writing club, a reading club. We've got lots of different clubs. And what we always say about clubs is, if say, for example, there's a club that you would like to run that we're not running, all you've got to do is talk to the club coordinator, okay? And they'll add that to a list of clubs. Any more questions? We've got 7 more minutes here, 6. If you've got any question that you need to ask, here's your moment. So at the moment, say in terms of like, I'm not sure what you mean by computer clubs. So for example, on Fridays, I think lunchtime or after school, we've got the Warhammer Club. We've got digital photography as well. So we've got different clubs that involves computers. Did you want a specific club, Michael, about computers? Right.
We just want to encourage folks to try the link. It's going to work.
Okay, yeah. So try the link again. To go back to the school's website, try the link again. The head teacher is actually, so our principal is Miss Luther. So you will be meeting her at some point. Okay. Oh, like coding. Okay, so in the past, we've had a coding club. Okay, if I've been thinking about even the transition, we actually had a transition coding club, I think 2 years ago. We had you can actually go into our YouTube and look for that coding club. It was fantastic, amazing. I'm very easily pleased, especially when it comes to computers. I'm a fossil when it comes to computers, right? So I love the coding session. So yeah, so you can go back. It was from, I think, 2 years ago, so 2021.
To be there.
So try the link again. If it's working, please put it in the group so everybody else can know that it's working. Any other questions? We've got 5 more minutes left. Yes, 6. If you've got any questions, now is the best time to bring those questions forward. If you don't have any questions, and if you've really, really had an amazing session today, can we just put our hands together for Mr. Burnett, please? Let's show Mr. Burnett some love. So keep those claps coming. It's still not working, sir.
We will make sure it is working today. Yes, yeah.
Still not working. So what we could do, sir, if it's not your document, so for example, if you're not the one that's opened it, could you, is it your document, sir? No. So could you make a copy and then open access to everyone that has the link? And if you share that copy with me, what I'll do is I'll put it on the website right now. If you email that to me, that might work. Yep. Yeah, we got plenty of claps coming. Was it a heart shape? Was it a heart as well? Oh, love for maths. I love it. So we got scientists, we got mathematicians. Yes, I can't wait for September. Year 6, I kid you not. I know for a fact you're going to be, oh, my current year 7s are going to hear this, but you're going to be the best. So 2023 year 7s are going to be the best year 7s ever. Because I kid you not, this is the most interactive. Last session and this session has been the most interactive in my 4 years of doing this. How amazing is this? So for me, this is a true testimony of what you're going to be like at BA in year 7. You're fully engaged. You're very passionate. You were very passionate last session. You're equally as passionate this session as well. So well done. More claps coming through. Yay. Oh, there's Isla says thank you. So email the work to Mr. Burnett. So Isla, I'll put Mr. Burnett's email address on there as well. That might help. So reply.
We've just sent you Miss access rights.
Don't give me access rights, sir. Make it, I just need the link.
Okay.
If I have access rights and I send it to them, they're going to, it will be, they'll have the same rights. I just need the link to send. So I've just put Mr. Burnett's email address on the chat. So please go in there, copy that email address, and then that's who you send the worksheets to. Right, guys, you've got 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes, fingers crossed. Okay. Oh, this is the one that has the access right. Any more questions?
Miss, we have just about the last minute, so I'm going to say goodbye.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I look forward to meeting them in September. All the best.
Bye, Mr. Burnett.
Bye-bye.
We've got a whole minute left, guys. Is there girls football club? There is a girls football club after school. And we do have a girls football team as well. We do have rugby girls football. Sorry, rugby girls football doesn't make sense at all, Miss Shallow. Right, we do have a rugby girls team as well as a boys. Okay, any other questions? Oh, yes, 6. All right, we've come to the end of today's session. Keep trying the link. I'm going to make sure the maths team actually have that working. If, say, by this time tomorrow it's not working, please send me an email. Remember, it's ishallow@, so shallow is it's I, BESHALO@bexleyheathacademy.org. Please send me an email saying it's still not working for you, but I'm going to make sure they get it working. If I have to like literally do my version of it and put it onto the website, so be it. I look forward to seeing all of you next week, Wednesday. Same time for English. It's going to be at 5 o'clock. And tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure they watch today's session, and do encourage them to do the checkout and the worksheet activities as well. So from me here at BA Year 6, it's bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you all next week, Wednesday. Yay, bye.